Hey guys, welcome to episode nine,
9.
nine of Profit Talk. Yay! Next week we'll have a giveaway for our 10th episode. Deb is joining us from the car. She will be participating a little bit later. She's running a little bit late. Tonight we're talking about ways to make money from home on an extremely limited budget, and we're not talking about just reselling. So there'll be a little bit of everything tonight. You know, just different ways that you can make some money, raise some cash, you know, that kind of thing from home. That's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. So how was your weekend, Dusty?
Oh, is today Monday? All my days run together. That's the life of a reseller. It was okay. It was, yeah, stayed in the house. That's pretty much the story of my life right now. I did get out and go to the grocery store. That was exciting. Pretty sad when you're homebound and you look forward to going to Publix and going grocery shopping. I was like, please
I went to the grocery store.
please let me go with you. I'll ride my scooter. I'll leave you alone. I promise. She's like, come on. So, yeah, that was it. Really, really, really nice weather here in North Alabama. It was 73 degrees. And, of course, I haven't been out of the house, so I put on my jacket and my flannel stuff and all that. And she's like, you know it's like 70-something degrees outside, right? And I was like, So back in the house, I did change to go to the store. But that's about it. Shipped out some stuff, got all my stuff together, got everything out this morning. And, I mean, hung out in some hangouts, and it really wasn't exciting. I wish I could make something up, and I'm trying so hard.
I got my clothing ungated on Amazon this weekend.
Sweet. Did you list anything?
Not yet, no. No, I just got the okay last night, the welcome to clothing on Amazon email. I'm going to go ahead and turn in my shoes this week, too. Get that done. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
Ungating services. So he's gotten me watches and clothing so far. So.
Oh gosh, he did watches, clothing, shoes.
Yeah, shoes are from him too.
I had him do sexual wellness for me. Don't ask why. Not that I ever plan on selling that. But it's like, you know what? Why not just go ahead and do it? And just get it all.
Well, there's some things in there that aren't that bad.
Right.
You know, it's not all battery operated things. You know.
Lord, don't start that in the chat.
But I mean, you know what I mean. I mean, there's some normal things in there.
Sam Z-Man says, looks like Dusty found his razor. Yes, I did today. I didn't get brave enough to try to balance myself on one leg at the sink with a bare razor, but I did take the hedge trimmers or whatever they call those, you know, the hair clipper things.
Oh, the little.
Oh my God, it was. I'm not gonna gross everybody out, but it was like when I got done in the sink, I was like, oh my Lord, there was that much hair on my face.
Like,
I was like, okay, now I gotta clean the sink because she's gonna kill me if I leave that. So I did. I trimmed a little bit. So.
Good job. Everybody's getting all spiffied up. Larry got himself a haircut and all spit shined.
I saw Larry in a hangout today, and that's what was different. I couldn't place it. His hair was a lot shorter.
Yeah. Jake got to shave again. Jake got down under a certain weight that he wanted to do, so he was allowed to shave his face and cut his hair.
He has to be a certain weight.
I don't know. It some motivation thing. It was just picking on him.
That's funny.
Deb has a couple of things that she's going to talk about, ways to make money, so we're going to wait on those until she's back with us. One of them's really good. Well, it's been really good for her lately. Do you want to go first, Dusty, or do you want me to start?
You should probably
start with eBay and Amazon, you know, on a limited budget, and then.
I mean, I think those are the really obvious because everybody, you know, they're low barrier to entry. They're really easy to get into. I mean, all you got to have is, Lord, in this day and age, you don't even have to have a digital camera because everybody's got a pretty decent camera built into their smartphones. I mean, you know, really, honestly, you can start off on eBay without even having a computer. You really honestly could. You could use the eBay app, and you could do your listing. You could go back and
because you can print from the phone now. You can print your labels from the phone.
I hadn't tried that yet. But even if you didn't do that, I mean, you could do the old-fashioned, taking them to the post office and then come back and put your tracking number in, probably through the app, I'm sure, or at least through the browser or something. I mean, you really honestly could probably do it all from that. So, you know, low cost. I mean, Amazon you've got a couple things with eBay. You know, if you're a brand new seller with a new account, I mean, it just depends. If you need a lot of money really fast, it's not really going to happen on either eBay or Amazon. Mm-hmm. And the reasons being because they're both going to hold your money as a new seller. They're both going to limit you somewhat, you know, and with Amazon, if you take off too fast, they're going to put your account under review, and then they're really going to hold your money. You know, but with Amazon, on the newer accounts, I believe they pay out. I'm on the older account, but they pay out, what, like every 2 weeks on the Amazon account?
Yeah, every 2 weeks.
So they pay out, you know, you're looking at, if you catch that at the wrong time and you list something and it sells immediately, I mean, you could potentially be looking at like 3 weeks or even 4 or almost a month maybe, you know, until you saw that first money in your bank. And the same thing with eBay. So, I mean, you can start small, but there is a lot of other things. I mean, I'm trying to think of the things that we did over the years back when we first started eBay. We would buy out garage sales, just buy, you know, of course, if you don't have a whole lot of money. But when I say buy out a garage sale, I mean, I bought a garage sale one time for $400. It was the end of an estate sale that a woman had. It didn't go over well. It was because it was out in the middle of nowhere, like down a major country road. I offered her $400 for everything that was left because there was some Honda Goldwing equipment in there and some other stuff. And we didn't have a lot of money at the time. And I literally picked the good stuff out, put it on eBay, took the rest of the stuff in the van I had at the time, and we went to the local flea market. And it was $15 a day to set up. I set up for 2 days, and I made $600 or $700 cash money.
Are you live?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Hi.
You know, so there's things like that while you're waiting for your eBay to take off and get your account established and get your funds unheld. You know, I don't know how long on a new account PayPal holds you. I mean, that's just some really big barriers. You can start small. You can, you know, honestly, we did the Dave Ramsey plan a few years ago, and Dave Ramsey says, you know, if you want to get out of debt, sell everything around the house that's not nailed down until the kids think that they're next. And we did that. I mean, you start looking around. I mean, you want to talk about starting a business with no money? I guarantee you probably everybody in the audience could go through their DVDs, and if it came down to, hey, I need to start this business, you know, because we're going to lose the house, if you really sat there and looked at your DVDs, do you really need any of those? And, I mean, I took, of course, back then it was VHS, but I took all our VHS movies and started selling them on eBay. And that didn't cost a dime.
That's my big thing, is take everything out of the house that you don't absolutely need, like all of your extras, your frills, and start selling them.
It's all replaceable. You know, it's like an old friend of mine used to say. He said, you know, he sold used cars, and he's like, you know, I'd always joke with him, is the car you're driving for sale? And he's like, yeah, everything. He said, you know what, they made more. He said, I can get another one. He said, yeah, I'll sell anything I got.
Yep.
So, you know, you could even do no cost, you know, startup. But, you know, we did the flea markets for a while. I didn't really like doing it because I was getting more into doing eBay during that time period, more and more and more. And as I would stand there on a Saturday and Sunday at a flea market, I would be thinking, man, think of all the yard sales I'm missing. Or I would leave my booth and have the guy that ran the baseball card booth next to me, I'd have him watch it, and I'd be off buying stuff in the flea market, you know, to resell on eBay. So that wasn't really, I mean, but it was really good, quick money. You know, Craigslist wasn't around back then. Gosh, I'm trying to think. Maybe there were some AOL message boards. I mean, this is how long ago that's been. But, you know, now you have Craigslist. Take stuff you got around your house. You know, that piece of exercise equipment that you use as a shirt hanger. Put it on Craigslist. You know, sell it. Have 15, 20 ads with big-ticket items that you don't even need around the house, you know. You got an extra couch that's sitting in the basement that you don't need. Put it on Craigslist. You know, start with stuff like that, and then when you build yourself up a little bit of money, then start buying eBay inventory or Amazon inventory. But to just jump into eBay or Amazon, it is totally doable, and there are people that do it, but it's going to be really tough. You can't really do it overnight.
Yeah.
It's tough to do overnight.
I agree. The Facebook yard sale pages, the ones around here, a lot of the moms are making a little extra scratch by, selling their kids, stuff. There's one that's just for mummies in this county, and some of them are turning over quite a lot of product on there, and it's just things that their kids outgrown. And you can do that. The more specialized Facebook groups, the boards for, like your local yard sale things, the more specialized the groups are, the better they seem to be. At least that's the case here. Like we have one that's just for furniture. We've got a couple of them that are just for kids. There's one that's babies and, baby gear. It seems to be, when the boards are more specialized, I don't know if it's just that your stuff doesn't get lost as easily as on the bigger boards that are, just, XYZ county yard sale page. I don't know if that's what it is, where it's just there's not so many posts coming through, or, if people are more prepped to buy, so to speak, in those groups because it's, for the specific type of thing that they want. But I see quite a lot of product moving on those, and that's straight cash. That's just like Craigslist.
And that's another. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's another thing. I mean, we used to do clothing. That was another thing we do. We would buy up clothing from yard sales because we were doing a lot of clothing when we first started eBay. But then we'd get where we had too much clothing. We found a local consignment store that, that every Tuesday, Thursday, most of them have set schedules. We only accept incoming items, or you have to make an appointment or whatever. We would take the items. We went out and bought a ton of coat hangers, or just found extra coat hangers. I don't even remember. But I remember we had a pole that I hung in the basement, and we would take all these just hundreds of pieces of clothing. We'd pick out the best stuff for eBay. The other stuff was still good because we had handpicked it all, but we would hang it on hangers. She would get the steamer and just steam it just a little bit, and then we would take everything on because they wanted everything at the local consignment store to be on hangers. We would set our appointment and take it in, and we would make $400, $500, $600 a month. We'd get a check from them for the clothing items that we sold with with the clothing items that we sold, through that consignment store. And now you have these mommy market things that are, they'll take an old grocery store building or whatever. I mean, you want to talk about a way to make some really probably easy money? Go to these yard sales that, the ones you pull up where it's all kid stuff and baby stuff, and that woman's wanting to make some money. She's out there busting her rear end, probably trying to help her family. Clothing sells cheap at yard sales anyhow. Just make an offer on all of it. I mean, this is just a theory that somebody could do. Make an offer on all of it. If you've got a local mommy store, if it's decent type clothing, not ratty, spit up on the front of it, necessarily Walmart stuff that's ripped up, but, take it to your local, the mommy things that they do once a month or whatever, where you put your stuff in there on consignment and get a big fat check out of that. Buy up, and that's something that you could get into cheap, because around here, baby clothing typically, any clothing at yard sales around here is usually 50 cents and $1. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. So that's a couple avenues: flea markets, consignment stores, children's consignment things, of course the eBay and the Amazon.
Rudy said he's killing it on the Facebook groups.
Buying or selling?
Selling.
I am not a member of a single one, I don't believe. I might be.
I am. I picked some. I've gotten a few things for FBA off of them. Like new in the box things. I actually had a couple of really good scores. Like one of them, I gave the lady $10, and ended up turning it into right at 100 for the 3 things that I got from her. Just, crafty stuff that she had bought because she wanted to scrapbook and then she never did. So she never even opened it. And you see a lot of that around here. There's a lot of bored housewives. So even there's something too, if you've got a kind of a ritzier section of town near you, if the county over, has a higher median income, join their Facebook group. Because a lot of the times, you've got housewives that are bored, they'll sell stuff that their husbands bought them, for cash. Just, cash for you for inventory, not for,
Right. Somebody asked if you have a problem getting the money you wanted at flea markets. I'm finding, Alvin Smith asked, he said, I can't think tonight. Alvin Smith said, hey, Dusty, did you have a problem getting the money you wanted at flea markets? I'm finding people want something for nothing at the flea market. Yeah, you do. Flea markets are kind of the stepbrother of yard sales, but it was typically stuff that wasn't worth my time doing on eBay, that literally was just eliminating junk. You're going to get 1/10 of what you probably could on eBay. If it's a $9.99 item on eBay, you're only going to get $1 for it at the flea market or whatever. But then again, you can't necessarily be listing all $9.99 items all day long. That's pretty intensive. So that was a way for me to really just clear out junk. And I knew I was going to get lowballed on stuff, so yeah.
Rudy said that he's getting stuff off of Craigslist and flipping it on the Facebook groups. That's pretty.
I've off Craigslist before and flipped it online, but like I said, I've never done the Facebook groups.
I haven't. Yeah, I've flipped online. I haven't flipped in a local group. That's pretty slick. This one takes a little more dedication, and it's not a quick buck, but a lot of people say that blogs are dead. Blogs are not dead. You can still start your blog for free. Please don't use Blogspot. Don't go on the whole Blogger platform at all. Go with a WordPress. If you have to go, if you are completely wickedly limited on funds, then go with a free WordPress site until you can raise a little bit of money to host your own. But affiliate links are alive and well. Amazon affiliate, it is still a viable way to make extra money, and you can take that money and plow it into inventory to resell, or whatever it is that you needed the money for. Or if you've got a bill or something like that, it's not going to be a ton of money, not on a free blog. I still know people that are making their full-time income from blogging. It's all affiliate marketing, affiliate links, a little bit of AdSense, ebooks. They tend to all have an ebook or two. The people that I know that are blogging full time, but they're making a full-time income.
Right.
So it's still a completely realistic way to make money. And if it's you're really down and out, plasma, dude. Go sell some plasma.
I've never done plasma, but our local Life South blood bank, if you give at the local hospital and you do the double apheresis machine, which takes out double, but it returns fluid, so instead of going, you have to go half as much, basically. But they will give you $40 worth of movie cards to your choice of whatever the local theaters, the Rave or the Carmike or what. You get your choice of theaters, and it takes about 30-45 minutes, and you can do it that one I think it's every 16 weeks instead of every 8 weeks. But you get $40 worth of movie gift cards. So in theory, cool. Which we use, and I usually give them to the kids. But you know what? Gift cards usually, if you sell them, and it's a nationwide chain like Carmike, I think they're everywhere. Yeah. You can turn around and there's websites that buy gift cards, or you could put them on eBay, and that would be free money.
Yep. We used to donate I did. I donated plasma, and it was, I mean, beer money or whatever when we were young, but there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you're saving somebody's life, and you're making a buck. You know?
I know. And I know they pay really good.
I don't know what they pay now, but...
I think they pay really good. The problem, and the reason I've never done plasma is the one here in our town is like in the ghetto, and it's usually like you drive by and there's like 500 people lined up out front, and they're kind of skeezy looking. So I'm like, nah. So I go to the hospital and do blood and do it that way, but that's just my.
I don't want to get beat down trying to donate plasma. I just wanted to save somebody.
I just wanted beer money.
That's a good country song. A little beer money.
Comments. There's a lot of comments, and I'm reading through. I'm trying to catch up on the chat, the YouTube chat. And
well, nice, Jeff. Jeff said my affiliate in AdSense almost pays my monthly car payment. So there you go.
Jeff does a lot of. Jeff's good. Jeff's been doing that for a few years too, I believe, if I'm correct. And
you know what? Blogging is a great way to get free stuff too. You get all kinds of swag depending on your niche. I still get swag, and I haven't made a blog post since May.
Jeff does some things where he gets swag, and he gets some really nice stuff. I do a few of like the Amazon private label, where people are trying to get their private label items launched, and you'll get an item for free, or minimum, or it'll be $1. It'll either be free or $1. And I have gotten Tristan so far 2 bottles of argan hair oil.
Ooh.
Which, I mean, she buys that stuff anyhow, so that saved a lot of money.
Heck yeah.
And I've got like these grippy things that are good for the oven or the grill. They're like silicone. I've gotten 2 or 3 pairs of those. I got a mat that you can put, that's silicone, that you can put directly on the grill or use it on a cookie sheet. I've gotten vitamins. I got some, what is that, omega-3 fish oil. I got a big old bottle of that, so which is still sealed because I obviously have not taken it. You can get some really cool stuff, and the cool thing is it's through Amazon Prime, because the products are in FBA. So you get a box, and you get some air pillows out of it, so you get free shipping supplies.
I'm doing one right now for somebody, and it was funny because it's actually something that I needed. It's like a muscle roller thing. And you stick it in the freezer and roll it on like sore muscles or strains, that kind of thing. It's pretty dang sweet too. But those are awesome. If you guys watch for that, watch the Facebook groups. There's constantly people asking for reviewers for their private label stuff that they're trying to kick off. Get you some swag. We need to have, Jeff Davidson, we need to have you come on one night because I'd like to do a show that's about
affiliate stuff.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before, though, Jeff.
That would be awesome because he really, really, really knows his crap. Obviously, if he's paying his car payment and another payment or whatever through just affiliates, then obviously that speaks for itself.
Yeah, I didn't make enough for a car payment. I mean, I didn't do bad, but, I didn't make... I do.
I don't have a car payment. I drive a Dave Ramsey Beater.
I has a car payment.
Well, it's not a Beater, but it's got 135,000 miles.
In 3 years, I'll have to have another car payment. Well, mine will be paid off by then, but Braden gets my car and I get a new one.
We had a car payment until she decided that the Mini Cooper was just not a practical car with 2 kids. It took 3 years. Speaking of cars,
you made it.
I'm here.
What you want to tell them about, Deb?
Oh, okay. So I had a couple things on making money. I've done over the years a couple things like when I was stay-at-home mom. I did Cha-Cha, CHACHA, and basically what that is a company that does answering questions via text. And so, like, you could ask it, what time it's almost like Siri, but for your text. And you could ask it anything you want. I mean, jokes, or what's an address to a certain place, or even, like, really specific questions that people ask, like, Yahoo Answers or whatever. And you answer the questions, and you get paid per question that you answer, and you do it from home basically whenever you want. And but I don't know if they're still hiring. That's what I'm trying to check. If it's here it is. Become a guide. Yeah, they're actually hiring for vetters, and a vetter is not somebody that answers questions. A vetter is somebody who routes the questions to, like, they get the question and they might change the way the question is worded, because, you know, text lingo is kind of and then they route it. So that's a vetter. But yeah, they hire to work from home. So I did that for a while.
I think I tried doing it when Gavin was a baby. And I don't remember what it was that I didn't, why I didn't stick with it.
Yeah, I was a guide, and I used to do it, and then I would do it at night on the weekend, so sometimes I would be drinking, and then like I would notice my questions, because you could see your questions and answers, and I would notice that, like, my answers would get really strange. And, like, your answers have to be from, like, a legitimate website. Like, you have to link the website that you got your answer from. But, yeah, I would notice that I'd have, like, some, like, answer issues at, like, 2:30 in the morning on a Saturday when I didn't remember actually answering any questions.
Oh, man.
So, yeah. And then another way recently that I've started making money, and I'm sure some of y'all have heard me talking about it, but I started driving for Uber. And Uber is basically a rideshare company that from your app, if you need a ride, then it's all tied to your credit card and all that stuff. If you need a ride, you request the ride, and they literally come within, like, normally it's like 2 to 5 minutes. And the nearest driver to you will get the little ping, and they'll accept it, and they'll come to you and then take you where you need to go. And it's all done through your phone. So I started driving for Uber a little over a month ago, just so I could get out of the house and kind of make a little extra bill money, because I don't like relying exclusively on my eBay and Amazon for all of my money, because to me that's just too stressful, and it makes me like crazy where I'm like, people buy something, you know. So I started doing Uber, and it's actually been really lucrative. Like this week I worked probably a total of 13 hours, and my payout after the fees and stuff, they take 20%. So I'm doing mental math. 20% of 480, they'll take out fees. So I should make a little under $400 for my 13 hours worth of work.
That is awesome. Well, yeah. Now, what was it? You got how much? You got 60 per hour?
I was getting 60 per hour guaranteed pay. So let's just say, for instance, because, like, let's just say yesterday I decided to do from 4 to 8 o'clock. And you can actually log on and off whenever you want. So you could basically log on, take one ride, and log off, go home. You know, you don't have to have a time frame. But right now in Austin is South by Southwest, and so it's super busy around town, and so they're doing guaranteed time. So yesterday I was logged on at 4 o'clock, but I didn't get a ride until like 4:50. So, but since I was getting guaranteed time, I basically got paid $45 an hour. So I got paid for $45 from 4 to 5, even though my fare that I picked up was only like a $10 ride. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So they're basically guaranteeing you a pay. So yesterday I only made, you know, probably, or let's just say Friday night, I made $97 worth of rides, but they're going to pay me $180 in guaranteed money because of the guarantees they're doing. So anyway, it's been really good. I started doing it in the mornings. I know sometimes y'all see me like run off of the morning show because I basically sit at home and wait on it to tell me somebody needs a ride, and then I like run out the door.
Somebody wants to know how many miles did you put on your car?
61.
That's it?
Yesterday I did 61 miles. Yep.
And how many miles a gallon do you get?
27.
And we know that gas in Texas is like a nickel a gallon or whatever.
It's $2.19.
How about the cheapest gas?
Yeah.
Always.
So it's $2.19 right now, like roundabouts there. So I
like
spent
$6 worth of gas.
Yeah, $6 in gas.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm really happy with that. If you want to become a Uber driver, my referral code is DeborahG299, and we can put it down in the thing. But
yeah. I
get a referral if you want to drive. And I also registered for Lyft, which is the same kind of program, but I haven't driven for them yet because it's a totally different atmosphere. Like, their drivers give out cookies and candy and all that crap, and I'm like, I just want to take you to work.
What about
like,
Alvin Smith asked, are the customers' buttholes like the taxi drivers?
They're awesome. I have loved every single person that got into my car. They're awesome people. I call it 20-minute friends. Like, because essentially you get somebody in your car and then like you talk to them for 20 minutes and then you're like, bye. So yeah.
That's cool. That's what I was worried for you about that, I'm like,
no.
Get stabbed, something could happen.
No, well, you have to think about it. These are people that have been using the app for a long time. It's all tied to their credit card, and it's all tracked via GPS, and it's all, you know what I mean? It's not like you're just picking up a random person on the corner.
Wait, so is Uber tracking you on GPS through your phone while you have a ride?
Yes, and also on the person's phone.
That's like Big Brother creepy, but
that is Big Brother, but that's safe.
They have to track us as well because they cover you commercially for insurance.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, while you're logged in, when you're on the way to pick somebody up, or you're driving someone, you're covered by commercial insurance through Uber, and so they need that's another reason why they track you.
So you don't have to take out commercial insurance, which is super high on your own.
No, and you also don't have to do anything with your own insurance company because you're already covered. So, like, you're covered through Uber.
That's awesome. That was something that I was wondering about. And in the description, guys, we'll put Deb's referral code and a link over there in case you guys want to sign up.
I've been really happy with it. I've never felt like I was unsafe, but then also I don't drive at night. So, like, the latest I ever drove was midnight, and the last people I picked up was 6 little tiny sorority girls that were probably about 19, and they were totally intoxicated. And I was taking them downtown from, like, a sorority house. But I don't drive at night. I only do, generally I do the morning shift where I'm taking people to work, or I'm taking people to the airport. So.
Yeah.
What about cash tips?
You can. If they want to offer you tips, they can, but they automatically include a 20% in gratuity in every ride.
But the drunk sorority girls, do they like to tip anyhow? Because they don't remember they already did that?
Right. Yeah, so I've only gotten a tip like one time. Tips are actually more common with Lyft. Because Lyft actually has it where the passenger can say, oh, here's an extra tip through their debit card. But they don't say that you can't accept tips through Uber. If somebody wants to give it to you, they can give it to you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I really like it. I like it a lot. I think it's fun.
Now, we've been talking about, ways to make money. Well, a lot of them were, with virtually no money, the selling things around the house, which is, that's what we always tell everybody to do when they first start reselling anyways. We've got blogging, which you can start for free using your affiliate links and AdSense. Uber doesn't cost you anything to start. Cha-Cha doesn't cost anything.
Nope.
The Facebook groups are free. That's cash money. Craigslist is cash money. That doesn't cost you anything. Once you get the ball rolling and get a little bit of cash going to where you can start spending a little bit of money, and we're talking, guys, when things are so tight that you're wondering how to get food on the table, sometimes. once you kind of can get a little bit going, then you can go and start purchasing a couple of things here and there, that are going to get you a little more money. Or, once you've just got, the couch and some dishes left in your house, you can start going in and buying some things, to resell. But like Deb said, relying on just one type of income, I think is, I wouldn't say dangerous, but it is
it's
stressful.
Too hard.
Yes.
I have, a friend of mine, she does, I'm not saying that's her main source of income, but eBay was definitely a contribution in her household, money. And it would be really stressful for her when things weren't selling or it's really easy to get very negative about things when you're relying solely on eBay. And even me, I consider myself to be fairly successful considering the amount of time I put in. I don't put in a full amount of time on eBay. I'm not spending 40, 50 hours a week like some people are, doing eBay and Amazon. I'm very limited on the amount of time I put in, and I think I'm fairly successful for the amount of time I devote to it. And even then, with me knowing statistically what my numbers look like, I can look back for 3 years and see what was going on. I can look back in the last year when things really picked up and know every month I'm going to make about this amount of money. I still am not willing to depend solely on eBay money. That's a scary place for me.
I'm a big, supporter and evangelist for the whole multiple income streams. I think branching out
something that you can, if it really comes down to the nitty-gritty and some emergency comes up or that you have the resources and ability to make quick cash.
Yeah. Yes. You need, you don't need, but to me, I think it's silly to not have multiple ways that you've got money coming in. You never know, hell could freeze over and Amazon close down, or, something happens.
You've got your account down either, and I don't.
Exactly.
You can say,
oh my God. I had a dream last night that somebody said that some Berenstain Bear sheets that I have were counterfeit and eBay suspended my account. Like, that was my dream last night. And I remember in my dream trying to work out what I was going to do.
Because
you were going to go to Seller Engine and be like, repair this.
Repair this. But I know sellers that thought they were doing everything right, were selling for years and years and years, and got caught in the Amazon trap of they listed one item and the company claimed it was counterfeit. Yep. And basically Amazon's going to protect their own ass, and they shut them down, and they couldn't get back on. And they were great by everybody else's opinion. When they're presenting it to all the other resellers, they're going, "Wow, you were perfect." Like, look how really? I mean, so that stuff does happen, and it does happen. Look what eBay did last year when they kicked 18 or 15,000 sellers off or whatever. Because they weren't making metrics. Now that might have been a little different, but my point is, it can happen, and don't be a Deb instead of being the guy that puts all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, I hate that term, because I am very eBay. I think the thing is, what I advocate is not necessarily find other avenues to sell stuff. Like, I'm going to go from eBay to Bonanza, but find other things to make money. Like how y'all were talking earlier about blogging and about these other things, but you've got to have something in your back pocket that's different from all of this reseller stuff. Yeah. That's not necessarily, okay, moving from eBay to Amazon, but even just completely separate from
reselling.
Like
write ebooks. Everybody knows something. Everybody knows how to do something that other people want to know about. Everybody's got a story. If nothing else, tell your story. Make one up. Who cares?
This is my story.
Just do it. You know.
Don't care. But I mean, you know, there's so many things out there, and that's a show that I'd like to do down the road a little bit is, you know, writing an ebook, because it is nothing really at all like what I thought it was going to be like. I thought it was going to be a much easier process than it really is. We can't even decide on a freaking title. So there. But I mean, I think just our brains are fried right now.
It just depends on what kind of person you are, because I've seen some ebooks that people have put out that were like, you really put that out?
Well, yeah. You know, don't put out crap.
You know, like, people are buying it, and, you know, it's different for everyone. You know,
but,
I think we're the hardest critics on ourselves.
Oh,
you know?
Definitely. But the things that we know, you gotta look. You know, you can always put it into the keyword tool and see how many people are searching for that thing. You know, scrapbooking a baby boy scrapbook. You know, you can get pretty detailed. You can niche it down pretty far. You know, and that's just one example. You know, there's so many other things. Niche websites are still a way to go. You know, there's still money in, you know, creating the niche websites, selling ad space on your, if you've got a blog, you know, and it's self-hosted, sell some ad space. Find somebody that their company matches the type of thing that you normally talk about, and sell them an ad on your blog. You know, it doesn't hurt you in any way. I mean, you know, you don't want to have like a baby blog and have some disgusting ad on the side, but make it match, you know, vet the company. And, you know, I mean, I know people, these are full-time bloggers, you know, that, I mean, they get hundreds of dollars a month for one ad space, you know. There's one guy, he gets 1,000 something per month for each little ad square that's above the fold on his page. You know, if you can get big enough, there's actually pretty darn good money in it.
Yeah.
There's so many things you can do.
There's other things that you can do as well. You know, that just will pick up little bits of money here and there. Like, I'm registered as a survey answerer for the company that does Airwick. And every week they send me a survey that takes me about a minute or two to fill out about some type of product they're coming out with, or, you know, what I think about this, you know, or whatever. They've had some silly stuff. Ideas that they're just trying to get, you know, like, what do you think about this? I'm like, that's dumb. Why would anybody need that? But it doesn't take very long to do them, and they send me an Amazon gift card every quarter. You know, and I've been doing that for a couple years now, where I just, you know, I spend 2 minutes and answer their survey every week, and I get an Amazon gift card every quarter. You know, so.
And Alberto's talking about ass.
All kinds of different stuff that you can do. There's different apps too, like, even though going back to reselling, like, there's OfferUp, you know, that a lot of people are getting into doing OfferUp. There's another app that's only available in certain areas, but it's called Gone.
Is OfferUp growing?
It is growing. It's growing. I'm hearing more and more about it. I think people are getting more and more familiar with it.
Why? Yeah, why? No.
Dusty got lost.
Oh my god! I was trying to catch up on the comments in the chat. Why is it so? What's the advantage? You obviously are familiar with it. What's the big advantage of it over Craigslist? Why is it growing?
I think just because it's an app and people are more app, you know, friendly.
You know, that is true. Craigslist never. I mean, there's third-party apps. Their app has always sucked.
It's horrible. It's really difficult. I mean, it's just not. They're a company that has fallen behind the times. They haven't. I don't think they've kept up with their market, and I don't even know how Craigslist makes money. But I know they're a company, so they have employees. But
yeah, I don't understand how that's even a viable.
They don't even have ads, do they? Like, I don't know what they're doing, but
isn't there AdSense?
In some of the bigger cities, they do charge you to post certain types of ads. I can't remember if it's
they charge employers. I know they do charge, like, major employee, like, for the job section they charge.
Like the headhunters and things?
Mm-hmm. Not for the gig section, but the one that's actual, like, jobs. I think they do charge for the job section.
Interesting. I knew they had to be charging for something.
There's also, like, different websites that you can do. Like, there's a website called Need To, where basically, like, you need to do something, and people will post, like, gigs that you can do, like, they need something done, and you can do the jobs, and it's all paid, like, automatically when the job's completed. So there's those kind of websites like that. That's an interesting thing. You know, people will put, you know, I need somebody to do this, and you just negotiate right there on the thing, and go do it.
Somebody brought up the secret shopper things.
Oh, I did that.
I did that for a while when my kids were little. That was like the only time on it really that I left the house without, you know, one of my babies was to go and, you know, do a secret shopper, you know, get a Starbucks coffee.
Well, I was a merchandiser for a long time, which for some reason merchandising and secret shopping end up on the same category on websites, but it's a totally different thing. But like Jeff was talking about Gig Walk, it's the same kind of thing. Your merchandising is really flexible. That's why I did it for so long. I did it for like 7 years. And you can, like, there's certain things where you don't even have to be an employee. You're basically just a contractor, and you could do like one-time jobs. And so that's what I used to do when my daughter was really little. I would go do these once-a-month projects, you know, and it was really easy to do and didn't take very much time, and I built up my experience so that later on when I wanted to, I actually applied for, you know, to be actual employee of different companies. But merchandising is a really flexible thing to do, and it's also really good if you like doing retail arbitrage because you're in the stores anyway. And because I used to go to Target twice a week, and so I would find all of the deals when I was there just for, you know, personal deals. But if you can make money and then also do sourcing, I mean, it's a good option. There's a website called NARMS, N-A-R-M-S. Look that up, and they'll post like all of the merchandising jobs there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did that for a really long time. I used to put out flowers at Target. I mean, it's a super easy job. I would go to Target on Tuesday and Friday and put out the flower bouquets. Easy.
That's it?
Yep.
And
then, like, throw away the ones that were dying.
I almost took. There was a greeting card, one of the greeting card companies.
Oh, God, greeting cards are awful. Don't do greeting
cards. For somebody. Yeah, that one didn't really appeal to me. A few years ago when we first moved here to Huntsville, and I was debating on whether to get back into eBay or get back into the real working world. And then I found another company that did, like, Procter & Gamble products, so it was all grocery store setting and stuff, where you did that kind of merchandising. And of course, I didn't get the job, and the lady gave me like 150 reasons why I wasn't eligible, and it really concerned her that I had been self-employed and had gaps in my resume and whatever. And then like a month later, she's like, I have 4 other people lined up, but I appreciate your time. And then a month later, she calls me, and all 4 of those fell through, and she wanted me to take the job, and I told her, I said, well, I just don't have time.
I'm concerned about the gaps in your employment.
I'm concerned about the gaps in
your employees. I'm concerned about the gaps in your hiring practices.
Well, I was kind of angry because I was kind of excited about it because it looked like a cool, fun job, and she had told me how much I'd make, and I didn't have to travel that much, and I literally could do like grocery store sets. I could do the setting, you know, the setting of the grocery store aisles and stuff. If it was a 24-hour store, as long as the store manager was cool with it, I could do it at 3 o'clock in the morning, and she didn't care.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
A lot of the jobs are whenever the store is open. So if it's a Walmart, whenever it's open.
So are most of them like that?
The jobs?
Yeah, like a
lot of them are. Some of them, if they're a new store, like a store opening, they'll have it where they want you to come in at a certain time. Because they're trying, you know, it's more scheduled. It'll be like 2 days from 8 to 5. But most of the jobs, at least the ones that I did, because I didn't do new store setups. I didn't like doing that. Were just, here's the project. It needs to be done by this date. And then you just did it whenever in between that, time.
That would be, I'd be a lot cooler with that, because you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I did that for a long time. It was, very flexible.
It would be pretty cool. I was I was making a list. Like I was talking about. I posted over in the chat what Deb was, because Deb was talking about merchandising. So I posted it in the chat that Deb's talking about merchandising, because I'm gonna leave the chat open and take some of the ideas from over there, the things that people have said, and some of the things that we've talked about, and I'm just gonna type them up on in the files section on the Profit Talk Facebook group. Nothing pretty, just kind of down and dirty list of ways to make a buck with no money or very little money, because there have been a lot of things passed back and forth between the panel and the people in the chat, and there's been the chat. You guys in the chat, you've had some great ideas, things that I didn't even know about, or think about. So I'd hate for those to get lost, because where the chat goes away, I'd hate for that to get lost. So
they don't care what we're talking about.
Y'all know more than I have like a bruise. Like I had such a headache, I kept doing this really hard down the bridge of my nose, and I have bruised my freaking nose. Like it hurts to just touch it, and yet I keep touching it.
Are you in a safe place?
Are you scared in your home?
You need to find your helmet.
I do. What you? I mean, I keep touching it. I'm like, God, that hurts, and yet I'm doing it again. I keep touching it.
I did miss. Jeff Davidson wants to know if we've talked about prostitution yet.
Yeah, we did.
Jeff Davidson is the one that you need to talk to about prostitution. He knows how to pimp himself out.
Please click on his name and look up his YouTube page, and feel free to ask him in the comments about prostitution.
Yes. on any and all of his videos.
No.
Well, I was talking about selling ad space, and Alberto said, I thought you said ass space. And I was like, well, I guess prostitution is a quick way to make a buck.
Let's see. Mystery shopping, I did that. It's been years and years ago.
I think we all did mystery shopping at some point.
I got a Barnhill buffet.
Wait, what's movie checking?
Where you go into the theater and you will check the some of them are where you check the screener, the things that are coming, the advertisements.
I think that's how Pee Wee Herman went to jail.
And then some of them are where they want you to count how many people are in the theater at a certain time, and then you need to go back the next showing and count how many people are there.
Okay, that's really creepy. Like while the lights are out?
I don't like that.
No, just when the show starts. Like when you can...
Don't be that person that's getting in my line of sight while you're walking around counting heads with your iPhone flashlight.
1, 2, 3.
But do you get to watch the movie?
I suppose you could.
Oh, I totally would. I'd be like 63. Now I'm watching the movie.
Yep. Plop down in the front row, put your feet up. Boom!
I'm trying to think of some other ways that I've made money.
I've never heard of that, though. I've never heard of the whole money watching thing.
Yeah, the company that does that is called Market Force. Market Force does the movie theater check.
Somebody was talking about substitute teaching. Do you even need a teaching degree to be a substitute?
I don't think you need a teaching degree. I think you need a certification. There's some type of certification, I think.
Now, I have a friend of mine who's a full-time reseller, well, he still is, and he actually took a job as a school bus driver because of the health insurance, because he needed the health insurance. That's not really my thing, because I asked him, I said,
if you need health insurance, go be a barista at Starbucks. They have the best.
They do have good benefits. And they
and
pay
they
them
insure their part-timers, yeah. And they also do college. So go be a barista. Mm-hmm. So does Trader Joe's. I almost got a job at Trader Joe's because they opened it right down the street from me. And I was like, I totally need to go work at Trader Joe's because they pay you like $20 an hour and they do
And then you could scan stuff while you were working.
I know, I could totally be Catherine and make some bundles.
And make bundles.
Queen City Picker said you count them going in.
That's even creepier. Who wants to be the guy standing there counting people staring at them while they're going?
I would bop them on the head like 1.
Stamp them, just stamp them. Like, you.
That would be awesome. I'm sorry, I need to X your hand.
Now you're making my nose itch.
I did mystery shopping at a pet food store. They wanted you to check the prices of stuff. It's so funny, like, some of the price checking things, they're like, okay, you have to be inconspicuous, and then they give you, like, a 30-page long thing. You're like, what am I supposed to do with this? This is not my shopping list. I can't pretend like I'm not.
Stuff it down in your shirt and, like, pull it up a little at a time.
Yeah.
I got Brooks Brothers one time. I didn't do mystery shopping very long. I got this place called Barn Hills Buffet. I don't know if that's a chain, but it's kind of like Ryan's. It's one of those big, buffet places. And then I did Brooks Brothers, and I had to go in and buy like a $25 item. This is like 1992. I don't even know if they had items that cheap back then, but it was like a $20-something item, and then I had to wait 24 hours and make a return. And then write this whole like freaking thesis on how the process went, because back then it wasn't automated. It was like physical papers. You had to write everything out and like fax it in. And I think I got paid like $20 or something. I was like, no, not gonna do that again.
I did the one that surprised me the most was the Starbucks buy, because I had to take the thermometer. They mailed me a thermometer that I had to stick in the cup, and they're like, if you can, as soon as you get your coffee, quickly run in the restroom and check the temperature of it, or immediately hurry to your vehicle, and before you even start it, stick the thermometer in there.
Yeah,
I mean, it literally says before you even start your vehicle, check the temperature of the coffee.
Did they
and
provide?
I had to. They mailed me the thermometer, and I had to weigh the cup of coffee. They even gave me a kitchen scale. I had to weigh the cup of coffee. And I was like, okay, I don't understand why. I mean, okay, whatever,
Oh, another thing that I do. Another thing that I do to make money is I'm a member of Swagbucks. And Swagbucks.
I never remember.
I use it. It's my default browser. So all I do is go up to my address bar, and instead of putting Facebook.com, I just put Facebook, and then hit enter, and it brings it up in the search, and then I click on it. So I'm like conditioned in my brain after so many years to not put like .com, because I'm like Yahoo Mail. I put my bank, but don't put the .com. Put Facebook, but not the .com. YouTube, but not the .com. And I'll get back like $50 a year just doing that, just not putting the .com. I don't do any of the other things. I don't do any of the, watching the videos or answering surveys or doing any of the, trial stuff. All I do is the search engine thing, and I do get back $50 a year.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yup. So I do that. And also, for people that don't know, use your PayPal debit card as a credit.
That's
You'll
right.
get back your 1%. I know we all think that everybody knows that, but they don't.
They don't.
There's always somebody that I see every week that's like, what?
We use
run it as credit and sign.
We use different. We have 2 credit cards that we use, and one of them is you get 1% at least back on everything, but a lot of things are 2 and 3%, and both of them are like that. It's just they've got different things, different categories, have different rebate amounts, and you guys would be surprised at what you can work up on those.
Here's another thing too. Yeah, I use Top Cashback. And Top Cashback seems to have a higher rebate percentage than like Ebates or
Top Cashback.
Mm-hmm, Top Cashback. And I do that for anything that will let me do a store pickup. So like Advance Auto Parts, which has coupons, like you can get $40 off $100 when you're buying parts. That's how I always buy my car parts. Is I buy them online so I can use the coupon. I also get back, sometimes it's up to 12% at Advanced. But normally it's about 8%. And I get back 8% also on top of the coupon. And I just go right there and pick it up, at the store in half an hour. I do that for Lowe's. I've done that for Walmart, JCPenney's, any store that'll let me do in-store pickup. If I'm going to buy something and I know I'm going to the store, I'll just buy it online so I can get my rebate, and then I go to the store and pick it up.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting it in the chat so that I don't forget about it, because I didn't know about that one.
Yep.
I've heard about the Ebates thing. I don't remember.
Well, the reason why I like Top Cashback is because as soon as it's in your account, it's paid, you can withdraw it. And you put it in your PayPal account or your bank account or whatever. It took 24 hours for my money to get into my PayPal account. Ebates, they do it quarterly. So you have to wait, for their payout time.
I got Deb turned me on to Top Cashback, and I didn't catch it soon enough with my Starbucks Christmas blend orders and all that. But once she told me about it, I signed up through her referral, so she got like $10 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I started using it, and I ended up getting $100 and something back off of my Starbucks purchases.
Nice.
They're paying like 8% back, so that's like having 8% profit built in to your item yourself.
If you're sourcing stuff, because I know some people that source a lot online arbitrage. Go on to Top Cashback or go on to Ebates or whatever program you like to use, and that's like getting profit right there, right off the top.
We need to start wrapping this up, guys. I wanted to kind of touch on, once you get your ball rolling a little bit, get a little bit of cash, start taking, even if it's just $5 a week, and rolling it into purchasing inventory or buying more, to get more inventory, more things moving. You have to build on it and grow your business, and that's what we're going to talk about next week. Is growing your business. When to start adding in those paid services. When to to start making those products that you don't always need. Like the equipment. The things that you don't absolutely need to do eBay and Amazon, but that make it easier on you. When is a kind of a good idea to do that.
Yeah, when you should invest in those.
Yes, thank you. I could not think.
You don't have to have it, but it makes your life easier, like a barcode scanner.
Yeah, I couldn't think of invest. That's what I was trying. I'm sitting here looking at my notes, and I'm like, dang it,
put in the money. Put in the money. Put it in.
Yeah.
And then
when you should, when paying for educational materials, to kind of bump you up to that next level, when it's time to start thinking about adding some of those things in too. So I'm kind of geeked to do next week's show, because I like talking about things like that. Kind of growing and moving up to the next level, so to speak. Get that business plan rocking, that kind of thing. I think that'll be a lot of fun, and I'm kind of hoping, I need to talk to somebody, but I'm kind of hoping that we'll have a special guest next week. Somebody that you guys all know, but special guest for me, for us.
Who is it?
I can't tell you. Has not talked to him.
I don't even know what it is. Danica,
you weren't here, so.
I was hearing in the car.
Oh no, it was the before.
Oh,
when Dusty and I were talking before.
I don't even want to know. I might not even come.
He has to come.
Right.
Come. I was gonna make a note, and then now you made me forget, Deb.
Oh.
Dang it. But anyways, that's about it for tonight, guys. We will see you guys next week, hopefully, for growing your business. If there's anything related to that, I'm going to try to start giving you guys the, next week's episode kind of the subject matter of it, so that you guys can post some questions in case there's some things that you really want to know about the upcoming subject, just in case we have to research it for you a little bit. So I'll post that over in Profit Talk and just say, here's the link for the Growing Your Business episode questions. And that way, if there's something that you guys really want to know about growing your business, then you can ask them there.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll
Thanks,
see.
y'all.
We'll see you guys Wednesday for the reseller wake up.
Bye.
Good night.